James, it's normally 1-0 to the Arsenal, but today it was 1-0 to Tottenham. Great turnout, fantastic, but break it down for us because Lee was just saying he's worried about the performance of Arsenal, right? Are you worried about it?
I am. Before I go into that, I just want to big up the experience here as fans coming to watch this game. This stadium's incredible. I thought that light show before and everything they did pre-game, I think put what we did in the Champions League against PSG to shame. From the light show to the fire display, everything. And also, if we're going to lose any game against Tottenham, I'd rather it be the friendly one. So let me just get those two positives out of the way. I want to big up the Kai Tak Sports arena and area, and like I said, if we're going to lose any friendly, it's this one. Look, I feel like Arteta's got 6 new players, and he might get a 7th, he might even get an 8th. But the difference between Arteta and Pep Guardiola over the years, or Arteta and Slot last year, wasn't just the players available. If you give me Gordon Ramsay's ingredients, I don't become Gordon Ramsay. The point I'm trying to make is there's still a coaching element here. Cool, we got Gyökeres, cool, we got Zubimendi. Mosquera might add something to the squad. I mean, even we seem to have better depth. I mean, we were bringing on 6-7 players I was genuinely excited to see. But the ideas are the same. We invert Lewis Skelly. We ask Declan Rice to pull really wide. Ødegaard doesn't get involved centrally. He's always out on the right. Saka gets the ball. If he doesn't beat his man, we're asking Ben White to overlap. Martinelli has very little help, and the striker has to do loads of work to try and bring everyone else into the game, as opposed to getting the service that the goal scorer up front needs. It's the same repetitive tactics, Robbie. Now, Arteta might look at what's gone on over the last few years and go, we've been so close, second 3 years in a row, the odd semi-final here and there, give me the right players and it'll get us over the line. And maybe that might happen. I don't believe it is. I think there's something about the coaching, the tactics, and the way Arteta's doing the job too that is crucial. Signings are not the only answer to why we're falling short.
Yeah, and the thing is, we really got to see a lot of the signings today because Gyökeres came on about 5-6 minutes ago. Are you disappointed that we didn't see more of Gyökeres?
Can I tell you what I'm more disappointed about? That in 3 pre-season games, I think Zubimendi and Rice have played 10 minutes together. They didn't play together at all, I don't think, at the AC Milan game. Then they shared some minutes against Newcastle. And again, nothing today. I don't really know what that's about. I don't really know why we wouldn't want to see Ødegaard, Rice, Zubimendi together on the pitch. I understand that you want to use this opportunity to try different combinations. I thought that was strange. We didn't get Waneri on the pitch at all today. And Ødegaard, I thought, had a good first half, really faded in the second. And then Gyökeres, okay, I'm going to put that down to fitness. I mean, let's be real, 11 days into this tour, I was still struggling with jet lag and going to bed 4 or 5 a.m. So I'm not going to really push for Gyökeres.
You were going for a run, right? I mean, every morning, right? So
that's true. Actually, that's a good point.
5-10 minutes. I mean, I was like...
I'm sure my runs aren't as intense as playing Tottenham, but I get you. Victor Gyökeres, I'd like to have seen him for longer, but that's kind of one thing I'm not too disappointed about. But what was interesting was when he came on, I didn't see Arsenal adjust their tactics to having a different player up there. Because I'm going to say it, Kai Havertz was poor today. Really poor. I don't even think he was great in the Newcastle game where he kind of made the 2 goals happen for us, but he had his moments, so I didn't really say anything about it. In this game, I was watching, Gyökeres came on, I thought, this is where you hit the channel balls quickly. This is where you don't try pick someone out in the box. You actually crowd an area, because if the ball falls to your goal scorer, he's the one with the instinct to take that one moment and at least ask a question of the goalkeeper. We didn't adjust our tactics, and I felt for him. He's not going to do what Kai Havertz has done even in his best in the last few years. You're going to have to play differently, and we didn't adapt to the fact that we had him on the pitch, which was strange. Zubimendi, I thought in the first 2 games, was picking a lot of balls centrally, through the lines, through the middle, trying to pick out little delicate passes in behind. But there was a lot of sideways stuff from him as well when he came on. But I appreciate that he didn't have long to have an impact either. So I was concerned, Robbie. I really was. I didn't see enough of a shift in terms of ideas. And people might say, well, it's pre-season, why are you worrying? Well, because if there's ever a stage to do it, it's when it doesn't really matter if we lose. So that tells me that Arteta's not really thinking about mixing up the tactics too drastically, and he thinks that player quality is going to be the difference between not getting over the line and finally getting over it.
What do you want to see him do tactically, this season?
Well, okay. You got Declan Rice, so I'm seeing him do like left wing shifts. We're asking him to be Gareth Bale. We're asking him to play like Yaya Toure when he gets the ball, driving up the pitch. why not tuck him next to Zubimendi? Why not that be a double pivot? Why not when Martin gets the ball and he's like, fronting up a fullback? By the way, Martin was poor today as well. Max Dalman and Saka showed that you don't have to have all the support in the world to make something happen. But to be fair, they had Ben White going on the overlap. Why can't we ask Lewis Skelly and Zinchenko to do that the other way? Get Rice a little bit closer to Zubimendi. Maybe we protect the transition more. Because what's been concerning in pre-season is how open we've been when we do lose possession in the attacking third. And actually they've been coming the other way really, really easily. Why not get Rice a little bit closer? Because suddenly when we lose the ball, he's miles away from the action and miles away from doing the thing he does best, which is win the ball back, sweep it up, and suddenly we're counter-pressing as well. There's lots of areas like that. I look at, like I said, the types of crosses we're putting into the box. Can we get our fullback, our winger, should I say, closer and our fullbacks higher up? Can we split the centre-backs and maybe Zubimendi drop in between so there's a little bit more space for the likes of Ødegaard to pick up the ball centrally? I don't know, Ødegaard, he doesn't float in the 10, he floats wide a lot. We don't even attempt the pass through the lines. That makes you think, all right, we might lose the ball, but do you pick up the second and suddenly you've got an unsettled back four that you're running at? All these things, they're not, I haven't said a lot, I've sort of spoken loads, I've probably only said 2-3 things. But my word, we're not even seeing one new thing.
Yeah, well, before we go, the goal that they got.
Yeah.
Was that a foul
maybe.
in the build-up on Lewis Skelly?
Like, maybe.
Because you also have players that are very upset about it.
Yeah, I thought the officiating was horrendous today. Like, really bad.
Yeah.
Didn't let the game flow, calling fouls that weren't, and then letting play go when it felt there were fouls. I think the foul was maybe the Richarlison clip on Lewis Skelly. They hit the post 3 times and they were the better team. I don't really care. Maybe, in the Premier League I'd complain about it, but I'm not for this, but you might be right.
And before we go, a word for these fans over here. There's still fans in it.
Do you know, the whole fan experience, I keep saying it on the vlogs, on tour diaries, it's really special. And the reason I say it is because I think it's something that in English football we get really wrong. If we were in the Emirates right now, they would have got you out within minutes. Now, I understand there's a safety concern to a degree, but here, it feels like a stadium for the people, for the fans. They were able to stay and watch a little bit of training. Tottenham fans having their fun, all right, fair enough. But do you know what I mean? Like, people are kind of enjoying the experience. Thought the light show before was brilliant. The Hong Kong fans were phenomenal because the Tottenham fans were getting loud and enjoying their moment, fair enough. And they heard the Arsenal fans respond. This was a friendly on paper, but to the fans, and I think to a lot of the players out there, it wasn't. And I think the fans really captured what it means, what a North London derby means. Doesn't matter where it's being played around the world. Doesn't matter whether it's Premier League, Carabao Cup, or friendly, whatever. It matters, and the fans really showed it, and they sang, and they did the North London Forever song at the beginning, and they did their part, and I thought they were terrific. And they didn't get the win they wanted, but I think they got at least an experience that I think they will hopefully remember for the rest of their lives. So fair play to, the Kai Tak Arena and the Hong Kong board and everyone who's kind of put this together. It was a special occasion despite the defeat.